There's a story on page 9 of the Standard that says that Rift MPs have been dared to abandon Jubilee. This is some Jubilee MPs have dared their counterparts from the Rift Valley, allied to Deputy President William Ruto, to leave the party instead of constant attacks on President Uhuru Kenyatta. And Samson Cherargei, you're here. There's been contestations from your colleagues, the likes of Senate, the leader of majority at the Senate, Kipchumba Murkomen, Kapseret MP Oscar Sudi, Marakwet East MP Kangogo Bowen. Will you leave Jubilee?
I wouldn't want... no one will leave Jubilee. Jubilee is... How do you run from your home?
Is Jubilee dead?
It is not dead. Jubilee was built on a strong foundation of unity and real handshake and real foundation.
Is this so strong?
What we have is a cosmetic handshake. It is, the Jubilee is very strong because we was built...
What is the cosmetic handshake?
It is the one of that the other day happened on 9th March last year. The real handshake happened in 2013, and you know, this is cosmetic handshake because when it came to place, some bridges are being destroyed and walls are being built. Because you can't say you are doing handshake with one person.
What are you talking about?
You are doing handshake with one person, yet you do not want to do handshake with other people. You start building the wall. That is not a genuine handshake.
So you feel like the Raila and Uhuru handshake is a cosmetic handshake?
Those ones, of course, it's very cosmetic. It doesn't help the Kenyans at all. Because what we are saying is this handshake should have brought... by the way, when the president did handshake with Raila Odinga, he did it with good intention of legacy and also the Big Four agenda. But unfortunately, the NASA brigade, although he left the party leader of my good friend Kalonzo Musyoka and left Mudavadi and Wetangula in the cold, he came with the intention of ensuring that they destroy Jubilee. Because if this handshake was in good faith, I would have told you many things would have happened. Let me only take two. One, they would not be calm, but there would be peace in the country. Two, the economy would be doing very well. Three, the Big Four agenda would have taken off. But now it's a mirage. Then it is just giving us a false sense of security, of comfort zone. Yet it should have brought a lot of changes. As we talk, the economy is doing badly.
No,
as we talk, the economy, when you look at the beautiful papers and some funny figures on the paper, when you go to ordinary Wanjiku in the village, in the streets, there is no money that they have in the pockets. Then this handshake is just cosmetic. It was just used for political survival of individuals who are our perennial losers in this country.
I hear you sigh.
You know, yeah, because I'm actually quite sad because my colleague here, who I have a lot of respect for, is a lawmaker. And one statement that he made really put some chills in my body, that the real handshake happened in 2013. Bridges were being destroyed now. The fact that we've calmed down the political temperatures. I think it's a high time that we need to start looking at ourselves as a country, as called Kenya. But not thinking that one part of this country controls another part of this country.
But that is what I have not said that.
No, but that is what you meant. But by saying that the real handshake happened in 2013. That's a very dangerous statement. Because
it's not dangerous,
where we are at the moment, the business community can tell you that without political calmness, business has thrived, has continued to thrive.
So you are looking at the business community vis-a-vis the ordinary
and I think I want to be very categorical here because I'm very practical. I think if we focus on what is ailing this economy, if we focus on government policies, the Jubilee government policies that allow the illegal importation of maize into this country, illegal importation of sugar, which is destroying the farmers, then you would have a point. But when you come and say, and you're part of that government, I am in ODM and I'm in opposition, and I represent the interests of those people in the opposition, you have to check the government. We cannot mix. If you guys are fighting in your house, what you ought to do is to go and get your house in order, fix your problem. And in fact, I would support an idea where you guys go on a retreat even for a month and fix your mess, but agree to divorce those who are entrenched in corruption, so that we can be able to save this country. The Wanjiku you're talking about will only benefit if you in the Jubilee, whatever you call it, house, can be able to put it in order.
Dan Manzo, you seem very quiet in this matter. For you, do you feel as if the Jubilee government, is it dead? And do you also agree with your counterparts?
The Jubilee
party, rather. Jubilee party, rather.
Yes, I just want to go down history. Lane, just a little bit. You remember one time we had the NARC. It was a very big party. And then after NARC came you know, we had the party which President Kibaki, PNU, and now we have Jubilee. And you can see all these big parties, including Kanu times, have come down tumbling at some point or another. So if NARC went down, PNU went down, why will Jubilee not go down? If the fight of corruption is going to be real, then it means some people, you know, must take responsibility. Someone must be taken to court. And the big four agenda is in the Constitution, Article 43. And I believe President Uhuru Kenyatta is doing very well with that. And the fight of corruption should not spare anyone, because what is eating up this country is corruption.
It appears it's 2 against 1. And I want to be very specific with you, Senator Cherargei, because you've made quite some allegations, including that the economy is doing badly under the leadership of the Jubilee party that you belong to. So I don't know
subscribe to
what you should do, what we should do. But so, Raila Odinga has come with his handshake, and you feel is threatening the unity of Jubilee, and things are not working, and the real handshake is 2013. What must you do as a party to save the Jubilee party, but at the same time continue the fight against corruption?
As a Jubilee party, and some of us know President Uhuru as a magnanimous and a leader that some of us elected him twice and supported him to the last man standing. Some of the people who are busy insulting him and demeaning that he cannot be a good president are the people now shouting to, you know, when you want to show love to a politician, you vote for them. You don't just praise them in funerals or in churches, you vote for them. Secondly, if this thing has to go way forward, then this handshake moment and honeymoon, of political honeymoon, that handshake has brought should stop. This is fraud to the Kenyans. No, this is a lie to Kenyans. The handshake is a lie to Kenyans. It's a fraud. It should stop. The opposition should remain the opposition. The people in government should be given space to ensure that we perform, because this scheme is well choreographed to ensure that the government does not work. Senator, by ensuring that we give full security, so that the Big Four agenda will not be implemented. When it comes to 2022, let me conclude, when it comes to 2022, the opposition would have ensured that the ruling party would have been properly weakened for them to ascend to power in 2022. That one will not allow them to happen.
Senator,
because all these things are doing in expeditions of succession politics. And that is why we have said we support the fight against corruption, but we don't support the weaponization or politicization of craft. Let us see real arrests being up. By the way, I've seen, interesting as I conclude before you come in, there is a well choreographed scheme to intimidate judiciary. I was there during the state of address of judiciary and the administrator of justice by the Chief Justice, and the Chief Justice looked so scared and intimidated by the executive. And those are excesses that we must be protected. My learned senior would agree that when our last line of defense should be judiciary, but as we talk, judiciary is being intimidated.
But Senator, even away from the whether the handshake has helped or not helped the economy, let me take you back to 2017. The reason why that handshake happened is not even because of the economy, it's because of the tension that was happening in that country for the sake of peace. If it wasn't for the handshake, then what would you have wanted to see? But you
know, one interesting thing, the people who came with handshake are masters of intimidation, violence and fear. And they have ensured, we went for elections. The first election was nullified by Supreme Court. Jubilee, we agreed to go back for election. Why? This is a democratic society. When you lose an election, you should respect the winner. You don't use intimidation, violence, and coercion to get into government. And the agenda, let me finish and then you come in. The agenda of ODM leader, when you look this confusion that is being caused in Jubilee and ensuring that it breaks Jubilee or ensuring that the people are uncomfortable with Jubilee, is to ensure that they should work out. And he comes for Nusumukata government, and that will be the end point of the NASA individuals and the leader of ODM.
Senator Ledama?
I think we're completely missing the point here. What we are doing here is that, and we cannot confuse Kenyans. We are fighting corruption. And it happens that the people who have been pointed to have involved themselves in corrupt dealings where Kenyans have lost billions of shillings happen to be in Jubilee. So I think as a good legislator, you ought to separate those two things. You've got to state clearly that anyone who is corrupt should be investigated. We've got agencies The DCA is doing a fantastic job. The DPP are also doing a good job. Let them conclude. Why do you politicize the matter? What is happening? The facts on the ground are very clear. Let me tell you something. The facts are very, very clear. You and I sit in the Senate. And I dare say on national television that at times you are converted into voting machines when it comes to passing legislation.
No, that is...
So if you really care...
Let me finish.
I've got to finish.
You cannot accuse us of being voting machines. All of us are elected and we have conscience to vote for something in the House or not.
And that's fine.
That's fine. Now
that's my view.
You can see you guys of NASA, you don't believe in democracy. Because when people don't vote to what you believe in, you think those people are voting machines, which is the agenda they have been setting across the country. No, we can't allow such and unsubstantiated allegations.
You see,
continue the rest of the points.
In my last take is this. I think you need a new awakening into where this country ought to go. We are bequeathing this country to the future generation. And if you believe that your children and the ones who are still in your bones deserve to have a better Kenya, you ought to be in the front line. You fight corruption. It doesn't matter whether it is you or whether it is your brother, your mother, whether it is the president himself or the DP himself, or Raila Odinga, it doesn't matter who, or Ledamo Lekina.
Okay.
We all go through that process. But when you start now saying the economy is doing bad, this handshake has done this, you're not being honest with yourself.
All right.
I'm being honest because you
you'll have the final word.
Yes. First, I want to say that right now Kenya is in the right path, and I want to agree with these members of parliament who told the DP, even happy with the graft war, he should leave the party. If he should start his own party, which will show Kenyans a better way, if there is any. For now, we have to fight corruption, and whoever is not happy with the fight against corruption, we have to support the DPP and the DCI to make sure that they are not intimidated. I don't believe the judiciary is intimidated. The judiciary deals with facts. The moment facts will be presented to judiciary, someone will go to jail, and that's what Kenyans are waiting for. And we want to stop. We have enough money in this country to run it. We want to stop corruption, and I believe Kenya will do much better.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen. I just want to take a look at some of the feedback that is coming through. Lama John Mark, you don't say where you're texting us from or tweeting us from at Citizen TV Kenya, but you say that the Nandi senator is misleading the nation, that the Rift Valley region is targeted, how there are 14 counties in Rift Valley and all of them support Handshake. Why do you come up with the word Kenyans? Are we from another planet? I think he's saying that your views are not representative
you
of...
have given me the last kicker.
Then Boniface Kisina says that tell Cherargei that Handshake is working. They are just opposing it because their only agenda is to see Ruto becoming the president in 2022. They are not saying the common mwananchi in between.
It is Kenyans who will allow him to be the president.
Speaking on matters Handshake, and SMS still says the same thing. The Handshake is the best thing that has ever happened to this country, period.
I don't believe so.
All right.
And
another one says...
in fullness of time.
One more says, Daybreak team, may God touch our hearts so that we Kenyans come out strongly and repulse this monster thing called corruption. Imagine it's funny that the opponents won't stop Kenyans. Let's start now.